7 races down, 5 to go, including race 2 here from the Cremona circuit. The 2024 FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship has seen some of the hardest battles of the season. And yesterday's race 1 was no exception. An epic final lap battle went down to the last corner to kick off World Championship history at Cremona. Expect more of the same today. Can anybody stop Maria Herrera? Good afternoon and a warm welcome here trackside from the Cremona circuit in northern Italy for the 4th round of the 2024 FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship. It's warming up, it's 25 degrees, it's humid here today in Cremona, a lot more than yesterday, and the fans are packing in to enjoy what is going to be a fantastic final day racing here at the Service Italian round. Kike Giles and Steve English taking you through 12 laps of World WCR action, which gets underway in just under 8 minutes time. Steve, yesterday the final lap battle going down to the last corner, one of the best races of the season, and it's got good competition.
Yeah, it went right down to the wire, and everyone in that lead group would have thought they had a chance of being able to pick up that race victory. As it was, Sarah Sanchez left that door a little bit open for Maria Herrera, and Maria doesn't need 2 invitations to come through. We had 3 riders at the front of the field. We also had Roberta Ponziani, very strong with great pace all the way through, so keep an eye out for her.
Absolutely. We're going to make our way through the grid now, and as you can see, the riders are already down there. Gregorio Olivier just going out of shot there, the World SBK Executive Director. Good to see him down there on the grid for this World WCR Series. Paul Dennin there as well, left of shot. He'll be keeping a keen eye on Beatrice Naylor, but all eyes are on this front row, and it's a slightly different front row to what the Super Pole results showed. On pole position, it's going to be the home hero, Roberta Ponziani. Stole the show yesterday with that front row qualification, but now she gets to do it from the front of the front row. Pole position for the 28-year-old after the fastest lap yesterday. A podium went begging yesterday, Steve. She'll be keen to make sure she gets it back today. Yeah,
really important for Roberta to just bring the pace that she's had all weekend to the fore during the course of the races. We saw she had that speed to be at the front of the group during the early stages of the races, but never really was able to make the move down into turn 11. That's where she needs to make that little bit of a step for today.
Anna Krasko had a bit of a straight line advantage, it seemed, over Maria Herrera yesterday. Don't expect the same today. She lost out to Herrera and Sanchez on the last lap. She needs a win. It's not a requirement as such, but in terms of momentum, she really needs to bag 25 points now.
Yeah, very important for her to be able to give herself that opportunity, and with the championship battle the way it is, 16 points, it's all to play for, but the momentum is that the top 3 riders are going to continuously be those top 3 riders through races.
She could have knocked the door any harder. Sarah Sanchez has been in contention right from the start, but 7 races, 7 podiums, the first win. When's it going to come, Steve?
Well, the one thing for Sarah is that she keeps giving herself those opportunities, and that's all you can really do in a class like this. She's been really strong, had that opportunity only, 300 metres from winning her first WCR race.
5 wins in 7 for Maria Herrera. She is the championship leader. A little fact for you this morning. She was 3 kilometres of an hour faster through the speed trap than she had been at any other point this weekend. So whatever the straight line problem was yesterday, it's solved.
Yeah, one thing for Maria is obviously to find that little bit extra down the straights. Yesterday was a struggle for her, and obviously not for all these riders. You're trying to find, with equal machinery, how you can make that little step.
Beatrice Naylor 5th on the grid. She had a little bit of a contretemps with Jessica Howden in warm-up. Both of them were given a little bit of a stern telling off, but she's going to be on the middle of that second row. Andrew Pitt, they're giving us some last words of wisdom.
Yeah, and for Pitti, obviously chief chief to Jonathan Ray in World SBK, and he's able to offer some words of wisdom there to Beatrice as well. The Pata Promethean team supporting her through the season.
The Dodge safety car makes it round the Cremona circuit. Look at the amount of fans all in there now. What a wait we had to come in this morning. We said it on the top of the hour at World SBK warm-up session. We were in the queue for the car to come in here for an hour, more than an hour, to just do about 15, 20 kilometres from Cremona city centre itself. It is a really home feeling here in Cremona. World Superbike really taken to heart in this part of Italy. Paquita Ruiz, that top 6 on continued in race 1. Best lap was only 2/10 shy of Naylor, so if she's consistent, she could be back in the top 5.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things for Paquita. She's a very tidy rider in the races as well. When you speak to the riders that have battled her in that second group, they've all said the same thing. She's one of those riders that doesn't tend to make too many lunges or put yourself in a precarious position, which is obviously one of the key things to be able to avoid getting into trouble during races here.
Avalon Lewis inside the points yesterday. She's going from the head of the third row. She'll be looking to see if she can make a step as well.
Yeah, for Avalon, it's good to see her back in the paddock as well, and top 10 finish yesterday on her debut in the WCR Championship, and that's going to give her a good springboard now for today.
Taylor Elf is 8th. She'll be looking for a little bit more. The 27-year-old, 7 starts, of course. She's been here at almost all of the World WCR events. She missed the restart of race 1 but at Misano, but she will be right there in amongst it as well. Just completing that third row is Astrid Madrigal. You could see her with the sombrero on, the Mexican rider looking to convert that top 9 starting place. But your front row, Sarah Sanchez 3rd, so close to winning yesterday. Ana Carrasco needs a win today from the middle of the front row, but Roberta Ponziani at home, can she be a home hero from pole? The run continues. Every single race this year has been decided by less than a second. World WCR, brand new for 2024, and wow, has it delivered. Kiko Giles and Steve English taking you through the action here for 12 laps at Cremona. We're just taking a look through the rest of the grid. Jessica Howden slightly out of position, perhaps 10th place on the grid for her. She had a double long lap penalty yesterday. Thankfully, it's Sarah Varon as well, back on the 6th row of the grid in 17th place. She'll be looking to get round turn 2. She was involved in a small incident which took her out of race 1, involving Luna Hirano, the Japanese rider, who will go from also back there in the 7th row, 21st place for the Japanese rider. They're making their way round this warm-up lap, Steve. This Cremona circuit is short, it's sharp, it's a little bit technical, but it lends itself to good racing on the R7 Yamaha.
Yeah, we've been able to see good racing yesterday, and those lead riders staying in the same group. What we tend to see in the WCR is the groups split up in those early laps of the race, and then you're able to see if anyone's able to go with those top 3 riders. So Ponziani should be able to be there all the way through this race. She's had great speed all the way through the weekend. Just that mistake yesterday cost her the chance of being able to fight it out. As it was, she did very well to be able to come away with a 4th place finish in the 5-lap restarted race. So she should be there or thereabouts all the way through. And then it's a question of if anyone is able to make the step from yesterday to today. But you would have to think that it's the front 4 in the grid that are going to battle it out for the race victory. And then you've got probably a 6-rider group trying to scrap it out for a top 5 finish.
Maria Herrera did set the fastest lap of the weekend this morning in warm-up. With the problem solved from yesterday, or whatever it was that was holding her back, do we expect her to maybe perhaps break away at the front?
Yeah, one of the things is that for Maria, obviously, the top speed was a problem yesterday. You could see that for Ana Carrasco, she was able to just get in that draft a little bit easier than Herrera was. And in a class like this, 1 or 2 kilometers an hour is literally all it takes to just find that little bit of an edge. The bikes, they're all prepared by JIR, and all of them are equal for each rider, but sometimes obviously in all classes of racing you've got that little bit of a tolerance, and sometimes your bike can be a little bit away from some other bikes as well. So I think for Maria Herrera it was important to be able to give herself that opportunity to make sure that everything is the same. And of course in this class, if you have any doubts or any issues or damage to a bike, you are able to buy replacements as well. And certainly for Maria, she wants to make sure that no stone's left unturned. She's trying to win her first World Championship.
If it comes down to a last corner fight, do you think the riders would have learned from Sarah Sanchez leaving the door a little bit ajar yesterday?
I hope Sarah's learned from it, because it was one of those situations where Maria had no choice but to come through. I think she was going to come through anyway, but that's the last corner that really does present a good opportunity for making a move.
Maria Herrera leads World WCR's championship standings by 16 points over Ana Carrasco. Roberta Ponziani is 5th in the championship, but she's on pole at home. Red lights on and out they go almost immediately. And it's Ana Carrasco who gets an absolute flyer. She's got the whole shot down towards turn 1. It wasn't a bad start from Ponziani. She still held second. Maria Herrera is going to come through on the inside of her though at turn 2. Now hold your breath and let's cross fingers that they all get through this tight turn 2 and 3 safely as we follow them round all the way through. It is the 2 titans of the championship so far. It's Carrasco, Herrera, Ponziani 3rd. Sanchez needs to clear Ponziani to go with the top 2.
Yeah, we're already at that point where you're seeing that Maria Herrera on that number 6 machine has latched onto the back of Ana Carrasco. We'll have that back straight to try and bring everyone back with the slipstream, but you don't want to give more than 3 or 4 tenths of a second at this stage of the race, and it does already look like the 96 has dropped back that little bit too far.
Good start from Avalon Lewis up into the top 6. She's chasing Beatrice Naylor. They're making their way around turn 8. We're looking at Taylor Ruff. She's just ahead of Street Madrigal and just behind Jessica Howden. Good start from Howden.
Yeah, Avalon's been able to pick up a spot, but Jess Howden's done a really good job in that opening lap to give herself the chance to move up from that 4th row of the grid into 7th. She had a tough day yesterday with the double long lap penalty to serve in a 5-lap race. Dropped all the way down to 19th, but this is her chance to score some good points.
Let's see the top speed. Oh, crash in the background. I think that was a Street Madrigal. I'll check on that later. Let's see the top speed of Maria Herrera. That looks a bit pokier down the straight. So fantastic stuff for Maria Herrera. Will she get the number 6 anchored up for turn 11? She will, and she's got the lead ahead of Ana Carrasco. It was Mallory Dobbs. I beg your pardon, a Street Madrigal. Mallory Dobbs has gone down on the exit turn 10.
Yeah, and you can see the gravel that's been just spat out onto the racetrack as well. So the riders are going to have to keep their eye on that when they come around turn 10 for the second time.
Let's see if the marshals are able to get the broomsticks out and clearing it away through turn 1 for the second time of asking, the start of lap 2. This is a good start indeed from Jessica Howden, right on the tail of Paquita Ruiz for that 7th spot. Howden's got pace. She was just a little bit out of position. She didn't qualify too well either. But Jessica Howden, when it comes to race trim, really has been knocking on the door of the top 6 right the way through the season. Spoke with her earlier. She needs points. But at the front, Maria Herrera now gives Ana Carrasco a chance to stalk her for a lap.
Yeah, Howden's got good speed and able to at least now give herself the chance of scoring some points. She had 1 point scoring finish through the course of this season. Bit of bad luck in Misano, bit of bad luck yesterday as well, but this is a good opportunity for her. But Carrasco, you can see on the 22 machine in P2, and at least at this stage of the race, a little bit closer than it was yesterday. We got Sanchez, Naylor and Avalon Lewis just keeping that watch and brief as well. So the top 6 a little bit closer than yesterday, but very much a case of trying to see who's able to go with the top 2.
And Roberto Ponziani seems to have regathered it back up. I remember yesterday we had a bit of a gap form at the start of the race and it still did Constantina up, but Ponziani's there.
Well, Ponziani yesterday ran off the end of the back straight and was still able to come through and finish in the top 5. So she's got really good speed around here. She's done a lot of laps around this track and it certainly paid off for her.
Down the back straight then, Carrasco's turn to slipstream her way back into contention. Her versus Maria Herrera versus Ponziani. It's Carrasco this time around, is it? Yes, tips in, makes the apex. This is where Herrera was so strong on that direction change up over the brow of the hill and then down into what is a bowl. It's almost a sinkhole. It's so cambered and deep down there at turn 13. But Carrasco's got the job done. They're coming across the line then to start lap 3 of 12. Quarter race distance will be completed at the end of this one. Carrasco with a new lap record and the fastest lap of the race, so nothing wrong with Carrasco's machine. Herrera looking to strike straight back though, if she can, and she does. Does she hold it tight? She runs a bit wide. Carrasco's looking back at turn 3 but can't make the move stick. Good stuff from Maria.
Yeah, you can see that change direction now as well. Carrasco able to really flick that bike across to the right hand side of the track. She's feeling confident in that bike, and you can see they're running in with the opportunity to just show half a wheel to Maria Herrera. Herrera with that double apex line through that long right hand section. So Maria, as always, wants to lead from the front and wants to prove a point, but Ponziani and Sarah Sanchez going with them at this stage. Does look like Beatrice Nail is just dropping back into the clutches of Avalon Lewis, and Avalon doing a really good job here on her debut weekend in the championship and putting herself in the shop window. Yeah,
fantastic stuff from Avalon Lewis. Really, she's had a lot less time on the Yamaha R7 than the rest of the girls out there, so fantastic stuff indeed from the number 50. She's giving the number 36 of Naylor a bit of a hard time. Naylor, of course, was on the podium back at Donington Park. Good news if you're Jessica Howden fans, no jump starts today, so no double long lap penalty. Oh, someone's gone down. That was at turn number 10. Let's see who that was. We'll come to it in a moment. They're coming down the back straight. Once again, Ana Carrasco able to get alongside Maria Herrera, but she's on the outside this time. Will Herrera let the brakes off? I think she will, and she does park it on the inside. And turn 11, Maria Herrera's so strong there. I couldn't have cursed Jessica Howden anymore if I tried. She's just crashed out at turn 10. We heard it through the headset, so she didn't jump the start, but she jumped off instead. Yeah,
unfortunate there for Howden. She had been running up inside the top 10, but she'll have the chance to get back in action next week as well. Looks like Sarah Veron's gone off at turn 10 as well. We did see that gravel across the racetrack. into that corner, on the exit of that corner from Al Dobbs' crash. So 3 riders have fallen at turn 10, and it's going to get trickier and trickier the more gravel there is there. So the riders are going to have to be aware of that, and you're going to have to adjust your line through that section.
Such a shame for Sarah Varon. She's had limited running, of course, throughout 2024 thus far, yet to score a point, the Colombian rider, but she's short on experience in this World Championship as well because of the injury coming into the year. Good to see both of them up and walking.
Yeah, and be interesting to see. It seemed that Sarah went down after Jess, so the yellows would have been out at that stage as well. So that's something as well to keep an eye on for the next race next weekend in a few weeks' time in Estoril for the penultimate round of the championship.
Herrera leads on the exit of turn 8. Carrasco just a little bit further back than perhaps she was a lap ago, but she'll have a bit of slipstream to build into. You don't want to be too close, of course, down the 885 metre straight. Yellow flag still out at turn 10, so no overtaking this time around.
Yeah, and you can see now Luna Hirano, another crasher as well, earlier in the lap as she walks away from that one. It looks like it's down around turn 3, turn 4 in that first sector. But for the race leaders, still the number 6 Maria Herrera leading the way. But look at Carrasco in that slipstream. We'll see if she's able to dive out and take the line down the inside. She's able to make that move earlier than the braking zone, so Herrera has to try and come back at her.
She does try. She had to think better of it, though. It is a battle for first. That is very, very clear indeed for Carrasco. And indeed Herrera, they are looking very, very strong with all this battling. This is the best we have seen from Roberta Ponziani so far this year. She's looking to try and break the Spanish domination in this championship. That is for certain. We haven't had anyone else but Spaniards on the podium in 2024. Carrasco and Herrera, the side by side through turn 2. Herrera's carrying the speed, but not this time. That Carrasco, number 22's just got the poke out the corners through 3 and 4 and the direction change. Herrera's been strong at turn 5 and 6, carrying it on the lean angle. Not this time around, though. Carrasco holds on this time around.
Yeah, the rider in second just is stronger all the way around this lap, just because you're able to follow, you're able to use that little bit of a toe, and there isn't much between Carrasco and Herrera in terms of their speed. So anytime that they're behind, they're trying everything they can just to put that pressure on, and certainly into turn 8. You can see there for Maria Herrera how much more speed she has through turn 7. Has to almost just shut it down a little bit through there. But all of this fighting is just bringing Ponziani right up towards them. Last time around, she was a couple of tenths of a second faster than Herrera. Behind them, Sarah Sanchez with a new personal best last time around, but she's a second back. She needs them to keep fighting with each other to bring her back into it.
Herrera up the inside at turn 10, gets the job done this time. She couldn't have ridden much closer to poor old Ana Carrasco if she tried. You punted her along through turn 7. Now they're going to go back down the back straight. Ana Carrasco still with that slipstream is going to come through, but watch Roberta Ponziani. This is her chance to get close and see if she can get in and have a say on this. She's lying side by side, down in towards turn 11, and just about Ponziani keeps P3.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing for Ponziani on that 96 is consistently all the way through this season, when she gets alongside those riders, she isn't able to outbreak them. She needs to make those moves earlier on the straight to have a chance.
Just want to say something there, Steve. Last corner, Carrasco did manage to get through at turn 11, and she defended very well. Maria Herrera wasn't on the natural racing line. She was a little bit more to the inside than normal, but Carrasco maybe sensing something from yesterday.
Yeah, it's certainly, Carrasco is in a very different situation as Sarah Sanchez. She's got a lot more experience racing at the front of World Championships, and you do gain a lot of knowledge from that. Like I said earlier on, Sanchez has to learn from yesterday so that the next time she's in that position, she's able to go one better.
Sanchez just not with the pace today at the moment. Ponziani has replaced her as that third bike in the top 3 at the moment.
Well, what's happened is that for Sanchez on the 64 machine, she's maintained her pace from yesterday, whereas the other riders have found half a second a lap.
Yeah, 41.2 for the leaders last time around. It's the first time they've dipped into the 41s so far in this race. This is the battle further down for the top 10 positions. Emily Bondi has it at the moment over Ornella Ongaro. Lucy Michel there is in 12th. Junmei Liu 13th. Adela Juranichkova and Ran Yochai rounding out the point scorers so far. But it's at the front. Ana Carrasco leading Maria Herrera. At the moment, less than a tenth of a second between them. Ponziani will be watching brief in third. Here we go then. Slingshot down the back straight, and careful with the gravel. It's becoming less and less each time they go flying on by. Maria Herrera still got the slipstream, but not able to get through. So top speed advantage might have been there this morning in warm-up, but not in a battle.
Have a look at Sanchez, though, in the 64. She's come back by about 4/10 of a second on this lap already. So she's just bringing herself back into this one as the scrap continues.
Back in for the top 10 positions. Ornella Ongaro versus Lucy Michel. Emily Bondi a little bit further up the road. That's for 10th place, of course. So the last top 10 point scoring honours. And this is all the way back to Ran Yochai, the number 10 with the orange helmet in the background, the last point scorer so far. Oh, Chun-Rei Liu! That was all out of shape there, but she gathered it up. Did she lose any more places? She was offline for sure. So Chun-Rei Liu filters back in 13th place where she was. Lucky not to lose some more places.
Yeah, and obviously in a battle like that down into 11, if you're just a little bit deep like she was, it's easy to lose all that momentum. Momentum is with Sarah Sanchez now for the first time this weekend. She's down in the 1 minute 40s, and she pulled back 0.6 of a second on the riders in front of her the last time around. So she's doing what she can to try and bring herself back. You can see her here at the back of this group. We're coming up towards 2/3 race distance. This is when she needs to pounce.
She may have been time minister perfection. Sarah Sanchez not showing her card too early on in this race. Anna Carrasco, of course, has the added benefit of seeing the full battle from yesterday. She was third across the stripe last time in yesterday's race. So she will have seen the battle from a different perspective compared to Herrera and Sanchez. So keep an eye on Carrasco, see if she's learned something from the mistake of Sanchez and the attack of Herrera. Just outside the points at the moment, Andrea Sivak, Elena Kemmer, and wildcard Irene Bramato. That's 16th, 17th, 18th, and that is all your runners, I'm afraid. Everyone else has tumbled. Luna Hirano, Jess Howden, Sarah Varon, and Mallory Dobbs all out. They're all crashers, so a lot more crashers today than yesterday. Carrasco coming back through. That'll do nicely. Turn 11. Oh! Herrera! We've seen, oh, she was almost on the grass. Maria Herrera, no need to be taking risks like that. I'm afraid there at turn 12. No need to do it just yet. She cost herself a little bit of time. Now the time's to pounce for Ponziani.
She didn't cost herself that much time. You can see there she's still able to hold on to P2, and she's only a few tenths of a second down on Carrasco, but she's able to now understand what the battle's going to be like for these final few laps up against Carrasco. Next time around is when we hit 2/3 race distance. If the red flag comes out, that's where full points are awarded. So Maria needs to make her move straight away, and you can see already latched onto the back of the 22. She'll try and make the move into the double right-hander at 5 and 6.
Herrera, she will find a way through if she can. I mean, we've seen it so many times in 2024. Mazzano, like yesterday as well, Portimao.
Carrasco's done a good job there to carry that roll speed through the double rights, but you can see for Herrera, she is ready to attack.
She is an animal when it comes to her last lap fight. We were speaking yesterday that she just manages to make it work, does Maria Herrera, and that's the biggest challenge for Anna Carrasco at the moment, is trying to not only stay in title contention, but try and keep and stop the momentum of Herrera.
Yeah, down the back straight, keep an eye on Sarah Sanchez on the 64 at the back of that group. She's just been given a track limits warning, but she's got the speed to give herself the chance to be able to get back onto the podium. She's finished on the podium in every race so far this season.
Herrera ghosting up the inside of Carrasco, not able to make it work. Keep an eye on the green. That's where it will catch you out. So the green, it's not permissible territory on this racetrack. The red is not so bad. Down the back straight, then they go side by side. We've seen it time and time again. Maria Herrera is this time who manages to get the job done. She's late on the brakes as well. Slithers through on Anna Carrasco. Let's see what Anna Carrasco can do, if she can respond, or see what her corner speed's like. She's definitely good through 12. Has a little look at 13, but I just can't see that happening just at this point in time. So 2/3 race distance will be completed very, very soon, and Maria Herrera has got herself in a good position.
Just for all the riders in the field as well, they get the telemetry data from whoever is the fastest rider in any given session. So for the Super Pole session, they were able to compare themselves to Maria Herrera. What's interesting for most of the riders whenever you talk to them is that Herrera is so strong on the brakes into all of the heavier braking zones. Obviously, we've been able to see that out on track, that she's been able to do a really good job anytime she has the chance to try and outbrake anyone. That's what makes it quite difficult to try and overtake her into that last corner.
2/3 of race distance has been completed, so if we were so unfortunate to have a red flag here in World WCR Race 2, the results would be as they are at the last time keeping point, which at the moment, as you can see on the left, would be Maria Herrera is the winner. Taylor Elf just quickly in 5th place now, ahead of Beatrice Naylor, so Naylor's come under attack. And she's not done yet. Avalon Lewis will be trying to force her way through if she can.
Yeah, and for Ralph, the red flag came out yesterday at the worst time possible. Obviously, we had a restart race and 5 laps for that. But she's up there running inside the top 5 once again. Really good performance from Taylor. She's been able to just build as the season's worn on, and a consistent top 10 runner through the course of the last 3 rounds. And in this weekend, once again up there inside those top 5 positions. She's been able to get stronger and stronger as the season's gone on, and her racecraft's been able to improve as well as the season's worn on.
Maria Herrera went onto that back straight with a 3/10 of a second advantage. It'll be interesting.
Let's go.
There's the answer. It'll be interesting to see what it is, and it's nothing. Oh, Anna Carrasco did come across quite severely there at turn 11. She made the apex, though.
No, for Carrasco, she takes that inside line, and then Herrera's just sliding on the entry into it. But that's also for Maria, just trying to break as late as possible there, and just use whatever she can to try and scrub as much speed as she can. But she'll know that she's got a fast bike here and able to give herself the chance to win this race.
Herrera, will she come back through at turn 2? Not this time. She was saying yesterday that Herrera, Anna does take the line away from her a little bit, makes it a little bit difficult to come back past her. So let's see if Herrera can find a way. We're in the last 3 laps of this race now. She's definitely quicker. Oh, she's definitely quicker. She drove right underneath Anna Carrasco, and the crowd go wild. Herrera's back into the lead. That was a fine move. That's been coming all race long, though.
Yeah, and you can see they're just running out as wide as she can to try and keep that momentum through that section of the track. Carrasco has to attack back, and Maria's able to sweep across the front there as well from Carrasco, and really good stuff from Herrera. But this is only going to get more and more incident-packed as we get down towards turn 11. You can see, though, for Herrera, she's able to take those big, wide, sweeping lines, and riders aren't able to actually let the brake off and attack her into that corner. They're not able to punish that line. It's just a case of just how fast she's able to carry that roll speed. But this front 4 group all closely matched now. What's interesting is Ponziani pushing really hard through turn 1 and 2. It half opened the door for Sarah Sanchez. Sanchez doesn't look like she's got the speed down the straight to be able to get herself close enough to be attacking into 11.
But she is in the right position if this all does get a little bit messy in the next couple of laps. Look at Roberta Ponziani, the number 96, trying to come through for a bit of success at home, but Carrasco able to get through, and on the brakes again leads into turn 11.
Ponziani has to just give herself that chance to brake a little bit later every time she's alongside those riders into turn 11, but she's not able to outbrake them.
Another defensive line from Carrasco that time round, and actually doesn't get past by the line, crucial for the last lap.
Yeah, it's a defensive line, but it's also just a line you have to take through there, and for Herrera, we've been able to see through this section she's very strong. She's able to take that wider line through that first 2 corners as Carrasco goes defensive, and it just means that Herrera's got that little bit more roll speed. Only 1 or 2 k's an hour makes a big difference through here and into the next couple of corners.
Watch for turn 5 again, Maria Herrera. Ooh, not this time. I thought she was building all the way there, but she can't ride, and he closed you almost pillion with Anna Carrasco down towards turn 7.
Yeah, she's just got more speed through those mid-corner sections, but certainly for Carrasco, she's just doing enough to hold off Herrera, but we'll see if Herrera is able to get close enough into 8. Carrasco's actually been quite good on the brakes into turn 8 whenever she's been in front, and you can see there again, she just dives across the racetrack and then sits the bike up a little bit to get herself into the corner. So for Maria Herrera, we'll see what she's able to do down the back straight.
Sarah Sanchez rubbing her hands together here. This fighting has really brought her back into contention. As you said earlier, Steve, her pace has been very consistent across both days and also in this race. Carrasco a little bit wider than Herrera, but not necessarily wide. We'll get the slingshot down the back straight again. 4 bikes in it.
Let's see what we can get from 3rd position there with Roberta Ponziani as well, if she's able to get close enough with that slipstream to try and attack as well. But Maria, we know if she gets alongside, she's going to be leading into turn 11. Ponziani, we have to wait and see if she can attack.
Oh, perfect timing. We're about to go on to the last lap, and Roberta Ponziani, not quite this time. She's just a little bit reticent, perhaps, on the brakes. But Roberta Ponziani, that's the first card she's shown in this race.
Yeah, but again, she's just not able to brake deep enough into 11, and that's just where she's going to be able to fight for a podium on the last lap, but not that race victory.
Last lap time then here at Cremona. Race 2 for World WCR is building and building and building, and at the moment Anna Carrasco is doing what she can to eat in to Maria Herrera's championship lead. The 22 I'm talking about. Herrera, your championship leader, is coming off the inside, not quite at turn 4. She's just cost herself now at turn 5 and 6 where she's been strong, but Maria Herrera knows what she's got to do. She's hunting this victory. Oh, moment for Carrasco.
Yeah, Herrera there on the number 6 machine, right in that rear wheel of Carrasco. We'll see if she's able to carry the speed through the right-hander at turn 7 and then try and set something up into the left-hander at turn 8. What we've seen is Carrasco able to brake deep and then sweep across the front of Herrera, and she does it again now. So Maria's going to be getting a little bit annoyed by that, but it's all going to come down to turn 11. Last time around, the 96 was much faster down the straight, but Carrasco and Herrera were able to break deeper into turn 11. So we'll see if Roberta's been able to learn from that.
This is turn 10. Do you want to lead onto the straight? No, not really. Spoke to Maria last night. She wasn't happy with some of the lines that Anna was taking. She said it was difficult. She's only got turn 11, but it's where she's been strong.
Yeah, the one thing for Herrera is it's about beating Carrasco here rather than winning the race as well. So for Roberta Ponziani, it might be a good chance. Carrasco's gone very defensive there.
Dear me, shoulder charging and riding the white line. Roberta Ponziani says, all right, I'll take the racing line. Far abreast, last corner. No corner.
Oh, both of them down.
Sanchez has committed the ultimate crime. She's taken out Maria Herrera, and that is your championship leader, who is in the gravel collecting nothing. And it's going to be Anna Carrasco at last who takes victory, and she is going to be leading the championship because that is an enormous moment. Sara Sanchez takes out Maria Herrera, a home podium for Roberta Ponziani. So Roberta Ponziani gathers the pieces, and Taylor Ralph for Australia comes home in third. So what drama on the last lap. Maria Herrera angry, definitely injured. We'll wait and see. Both up on their feet, but Steve, turn 11, it's caught them out at last.
Yeah, and what's happened on this is actually happened long before the run down in towards that corner. When Carrasco takes that left-hand line on the run down the back straight, she's basically forcing it where Herrera has to go the long way around her to try and take the race lead, and down in towards turn 4, it's 4 abreast. Sara Sanchez is in the right place. She has to go for it. She's trying to move from 4th into 2nd spot. And for Maria, she's in front and tries to sweep across on her normal line. But when you're 4 abreast like that, when you've lost that bit of momentum, incidents can happen down in towards that corner. For me, it's one of those situations where racing incidents can happen. It's unfortunate that it's championship contender.
Incident in turn 11 reviewed after the race. Well, can you believe it? We have only got 4 races and 2 rounds of 2024 to go, and we have just had a defining moment.
And that review will take into account what's happened further down the straight as well, because certainly for Sara Sanchez, she's been able to see that she's got that momentum, she's got that speed to come through there. You are taking the tight line, but we've seen a lot of riders take that tight line as well. It's just one of those circumstances where, obviously enough, she's coming through on 2 riders. She's not trying to make a move on Maria Herrera there. She's just trying to give herself the best chance to be able to come out of that corner in the best position she can, and then try and maybe get yourself up into P2. It was Herrera out in front before that, and then it's just sweeping across. But even as the leader, you have to be aware of what's on around you in that set of circumstances.
Well, it's a rivalry that has been going on a lot longer than this World Championship, and this will run and run for sure. Anna Carrasco managed to come out of that unscathed. So unlucky for Maria Herrera and Sara Sanchez. But can we take a moment, Steve? Roberta Ponziani, P2 at home. I think the biggest celebrations will be down there tonight. Fantastic stuff from her. And Taylor Ralph as well in third. That is a huge result for Taylor Ralph. What about that then? So Ralph, one of the bigger names coming into this year. She's been working it out slowly but surely. She led the first ever World WCR session, and now she's on the podium for the first time in her World Championship career.
Yeah, really well rewarded there for Taylor after Misano and the injuries that she's suffered through the course of this season. And now she's able to get that first podium in the WCR, and very well deserved for her, and good to be able to see 2 new riders up there on the podium.
You can see Claudio Corti down there, Shorts as he's known, giving a pat on the back to Taylor. This will be special. Ted, the fiance, will be down there as well celebrating. That's Lucy Michel's dad as well. Stefan there, they're big friends, Lucy Michel and also Taylor Ralph. So fantastic to see the support. There's Ted Collins, he's loving every minute of this. Taylor Ralph, you are a World Championship podium finisher, and she can barely believe it. I don't think Ted can either. Great scenes. Roberta Ponziani pointed in to victory lane, and this will be the run down towards an enormous home crowd. I'm sure we're going to get a big cheer down there. But good riding from Ponziani. That's the first time this year she's made such a step.
Yeah, really good to see from Ponziani to give herself that opportunity here at a home range. She's done a lot of testing and training here, and this is what the reward for it is.
Fantastic stuff from Ponziani. But Anna Carrasco, well, can you believe it? 9 points she's going to be leading this championship by, ahead of Maria Herrera. Steve, the key to that, even though with the shoulder charging down the straight, a very defensive white line, you could see all the rubber on the track as well. She did keep herself out of trouble down into 11.
Well, she kept herself out of trouble, but for Anna, one of those situations where you're trying to make sure that the riders have to go the tough way around, and at the end of the day, you have to be tough on the racetrack as well. I think that the other riders will probably feel there was a bit of weaving going on there from Anna down the back straight, but it's also part and parcel of racing as well. I think that instant down in towards turn 11, it's also what you get whenever you've got close pack racing, and that's what one make championships are all about. It's about having that racecraft and being able to make it work for you, and I think that 4 into 1 doesn't go, and that's what we saw.
Yeah, 4 into 1 doesn't go. Only 2 came out of it. Let's hope that Sarah Sanchez and Maria Herrera are okay. They're in the medical centre, but massive celebrations down there for the Evanbros team. You can see Fabio Evangelista there with the wispy grey hair on the left-hand side of the shot. He's down there. Valentin de Bees is down there as well, I believe. So great stuff to see all the support down there in Parc Fermé. Carrasco from Ponziani and Taylor Ralph, and a dramatic conclusion to this race. I think I said at the time it was into the last corner. It wasn't. It was into turn 11, into the last sector. But no saving up for me, I'm afraid. 4th for Beatrice Naylor. That is a result and a half, considering where she's been this weekend. She would have taken that if you'd offered it her. Avalon Lewis, welcome back to the World Championship paddock, completing the top 5 header. Paquita Ruiz, Astrid Madrigal, Emily Bondi with a career best 8th. Ornella Ungaro returns to the top 10 in 9th. And Lucy Michel takes the last top 10 placing. But all eyes are down there in Parc Fermé. At the end of the day, Ana Carrasco, she wasn't necessarily the cause of the incident with Sanchez and Herrera, and it could have very easily been Sanchez taking out Anna had it been a different order coming onto that back straight. Good strategy on the last lap from Anna in the end.
Yeah, for Anna, she's been able to figure that one out and give herself the opportunity to pick up that race win. So good opportunity for Anna to pick up those extra points on her rivals. We'll need to have a proper look at it again to see what happened down into 11 with Sanchez in particular, just because she's coming from that 4th position compared to the other riders around her. But certainly it is one of those things where you've got to try and figure out how to work as a group, and into that last lap everyone's out there for themselves, and you want to see everyone giving themselves the chance to be able to come through.
Well, they've normally worked together very well as a group, but you did get the feeling as this 2024 season has unfolded that perhaps it was just going to break at another time. Good to see a couple of members from the KRT family in World Superbike down there congratulating Anna, of course. She was part of that team a few years ago. And good to see Sandro Caruzzi, the Moto X Racing team boss, down there celebrating with his rider, Roberto Ponziani, from P2. But this is going to be entertaining. Taylor Ralph, P3. Can you believe it?
Taylor, you just achieved your first ever podium in a World Championship. Tell us, how do you feel?
I'm like, anyone who knows me knows that I am never speechless, but I'm speechless right now. I can't believe it. I had the most horrible start. I came back from 8th or 9th or something, and yeah, to work my way back up into 5th. And obviously it's a shame about what happened in the last corner, but hey, it worked for me, so I'm going to take it. So can't thank my team enough. Ted, my fiance, he is just, yeah, I have no words for him. So yeah, thank you so much to my team, and thank you for this championship.
Enjoy it. Brilliant stuff.
We can definitely verify that Taylor Ralph is not often lost for words, and even though she did say she was lost for words, she didn't seem it.
Yeah, certainly not. Stevie Ralph, her dad's picked the wrong round to miss this season, but
coffee from you as well.
Well, for Taylor though, that's a really good result and all the hard work. But you can see what it means for the riders in that group as well. Whenever these opportunities present themselves and you're able to come through, regardless of anything else. If she had finished in P5 and the other 2 riders hadn't crashed out, it was still a really good performance from Taylor. And you can see there the run across the line, she's able to hold off Beatrice Naylor by round about 1/10 of a second, and that's the difference between finishing on the podium and missing out.
Very close to having an Australian and a New Zealander on the podium, with Avalon Lewis there in 5th place. So this will also be very entertaining. This will be a rapturous round of applause, I'm sure, and cheering, no doubt. A home podium for Roberta Ponziani. She's down with Alvaro, who's talking to her about P2.
Roberta, 2nd position at home. A day difficult to remember, no?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I know I'm fast here, but I didn't reach the podium always in here, but I can reach, and today it was fantastic. I fought to the race, and I'm happy to the result. I'm so sad for Sarah and Maria, but it's the race.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, Steve, it is a race, but regardless, fantastic ride from Roberta, and she probably would have been in podium contention there or thereabouts in the last corner shuffle anyway.
Yeah, well, she went into that corner in third position, so she's been up in those positions all the way through the race, and she very much deserves her podium, especially after yesterday as well, because she was so fast in yesterday's race, but just that one mistake into turn 11, it cost her the chance of being able to fight for a podium, and she's able to take advantage of someone else's mistake into turn 11. So.
Just about that turn 11 incident, the marshals are out there now, brushing it up. Of course, we've got World Superbike Race 2 coming up, the showpiece event here at the Service Italian round. That's coming up at around, well, at 2 o'clock in around 3/4 of an hour. So the marshals there frantically trying to brush all the gravel and debris, all that stuff off. But Ana Carrasco takes victory in a dramatic race 2. She's your new championship leader. She's going to tell us all about it with Alvaro.
Anna, what an amazing win to take the championship lead. How do you feel?
Yeah, first of all, I don't know what happened exactly in the last lap, but I hope Maria and Sarah are well. And yeah, it was a really tough race. The group was going in a really fast pace. I was trying my best to win the race for sure. Maria and me had a great fight. And yeah, at the end, on the last sector, we all tried to go into the corner first. And they had this crash, so yeah, I'm happy to win because honestly I felt the strongest today. I had a bit problem with the rear grip, but at the end we managed to be leading almost all the race, so I'm so happy. And yeah, take the championship leader is really important for me in this middle of the season, so yeah, we want to keep on this in Estoril. Thank you.
Thank you, congratulations.
4 races to go, Steve. What a season we're having, but it couldn't have gone more pear-shaped for Maria Herrera at the wrong time, and the pendulum swing the right way for Ana Carrasco at the correct time.
Yeah, it's only 9 points between them with 4 races remaining, so still very much in Herrera's hands at this point. But I think the one rider that's probably cursing her luck the most is probably Sarah Sanchez, because those points really do make it where she's not in contention for that World Championship in all likelihood, but still very much holding her own destiny in the scrap for 3rd position.
I don't know, we've seen some battles of Carrasco and Herrera. They've been safe so far, but it's not guaranteed for 4 more races.
Yeah, 35 points is a big margin to make up whenever Sanchez hasn't been able to beat them in a straight-up fight.
That's also very true. That's why you're here. Pirelli Best Lap Award, Ana Carrasco, 3rd, with 3, sorry, Sarah Sanchez 2, tied with Beatrice Nader, Roberta Ponziani, 1 fastest lap. That was yesterday, of course, that put her on pole position. We are going to be seeing a podium very, very soon. The most international podium that we've had so far. Ana Carrasco representing Spain, Roberta Ponziani representing the home crowd, and Italy, and all the way from Australia. And really, it is all the way from Australia. Taylor Rolfe down there, back in Europe in P3, and Australia on the podium. So fantastic stuff. Just outside the top 10, we did give you a rundown of the top 10, but Adela Juranichkova takes 11th place of Chun Mei Liu. Ran Yokai after her first non-point scoring finish yesterday, returns to the points in 13th today, so there's some solace for a difficult weekend for the Israeli rider. Andrea Sibaka takes her 2nd point scoring finish of the year, and after a big get-off yesterday, Lena Kemmer comes home with a point to take back to Austria. Irene Bramato, even though it's a home round for her, unable to get inside the top 15. She misses out by only 0.3 of a second. She was 16th. Maria Herrera, Sarah Sanchez collide in a dramatic final lap battle. Luna Harano, Jessica Howden, Sarah Varon, and Mallory Dobbs, other fallers. And Steve, just on those other fallers, when 2 of the main contenders for the title and 2 of the podium occupiers take themselves out, missed opportunity for those guys as well.
Yeah, it is a missed opportunity for a few riders out there, but at the end of the day, for Carrasco and Ponziani, they're up there in that lead group all the way through. Points have gone missing for Herrera and Sanchez, and then it's up to anyone else to give themselves the chance of being in the right position at the right time to have their best race of the season and give yourself the chance of a podium, and that's what we saw from Taylor Ralph.
Taylor Ralph, the first on the podium, and I think with the biggest smile, so fantastic stuff from the number 8. She's there in 3rd place. Roberta Ponziani, brilliant from her to be on the podium at home, but Ana Carrasco is your new championship leader in a dramatic final race of the World WCR weekend here at the Service Italian round. Steve, it has been a dramatic weekend, but a successful one as well for the first time here at Cremona. Some closing thoughts before we get underway with the podium ceremony.
We've been able to have good racing across the board here in the WC, or with the lead group in both races very closely matched, and we've been able to see it go down to the last corner and the last lap in both races.
What can we expect moving forward now? 2 rounds to go. They're back-to-back as well. Estoril and Jerez. Estoril now is important more than anything for Maria Herrera.
Yeah, for Herrera, she has to go to the last round where it's still in her control, and if she's able to win the next 4 races, she wins the World Championship, and that's the mentality that Maria's going to have.
And what about Sarah Sanchez? She'll be feeling a bit guilty, of course, for taking out Maria Herrera, but she is also going for that first win, and it's racing.
I think she'll be feeling guilty. She's in a position to try and come through to win that race, or in her position probably come through to finish in second spot. It's just, that's the way racing goes, and Herrera is swept across the track like we've seen her do in last laps in different situations, and she's taken her high ground, and unfortunately Sanchez's bike was there as well at the same time.
We're going to get ready for the national anthem, then it's the Spanish national anthem once again, but this time for Ana Carrasco. Well, it's time for a Prosecco party, and Ana Carrasco will be celebrating for sure, but 2 new names on the podium. Roberta Ponziani in second, Taylor Ralph in third. As you can see, huge celebrations. Oh dear, I thought I was going to come through the screen in a minute. Good stuff there. All round happy family day down there at Cremona. Massive attendance here for the first ever World Superbike race weekend. What a time to come to Cremona. Huge crowd here. But they're all waiting now for World Superbike Race 2, Steve, and that's coming up very soon. Some thoughts about the championship. It's 9 points. It's not a lot, but it's vital.
Yeah, it's 9 points, and we know that Herrera is going to bounce back from that. Estoril in 3 weeks' time is going to be her chance to get back to winning races.
She's got to win. That's the bottom line now. She wants to take the title. It's not in her court with 4 to go. Final results then. What a dramatic race as we catch our breath up here in commentary. Ana Carrasco, Roberta Ponziani, Taylor Ralph to podium. You know all that. Look at all the top 10 of joint best of her career for Astrid Madrigal in 7th, so she really takes profit from that. Final sector disaster it was for Maria Herrera and Sarah Sanchez. All the way down, as you can see, a lot of non-finishers, but the 2 notable ones, Sanchez and Herrera. Missed opportunity perhaps for Mallory Dobbs, and also for Jessica Howden, and a missed opportunity in terms of points for Sarah Veron from Colombia. Ana Carrasco, that's the big shift in the Riders' Championship. She takes over at the front by 9 points ahead of Maria Herrera, 35 back now. Sarah Sanchez, it's a mountain to climb. It was a hill anyway. It's definitely got a little bit more now. All the way through the order, Emily Bondi's career best 8th moves her up 2 places. Avalon Lewis, she's only done 2 races. She's already 16th. 23 point scorers so far, including Cristal Sulfa from the Dominican Republic when she's super sub for Sarah Veron in Mazzano. Ana Carrasco takes the lead of the title race. The ball is in her court. The pendulum has swung her way. Estoril will be the next call of duty for the World WCR Championship. From myself, Kiko Giles and Steve English, that's time to end World WCR action. World Superbike action, though, on the way very soon at 2 o'clock.